Guys ever wake up and realize maybe you said something stupid on the internet and you can't take it back? Well, welcome to the last 24 hours of yours truly, Bryan Power. Mark Zinno, I have unfortunately roped you into this mess here.
That's okay.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I wish you would have said that 12 hours ago. I felt
Well,
terrible.
you shouldn't feel terrible because I have somebody who's been in, as Brian Power would say, Mark Zinno of many sports media outlets, many national sports media outlets, have said a lot of stupid things, both on the air and the internet, for a better part of my career. Guess what? You're going to be fine.
I will.
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
Do you promise?
I absolutely, with you as my partner and co-host and friend, I absolutely promise you're going to be fine.
Okay.
And I will say this. Let me get this out of here early because I know we're going to talk a lot about this here in a minute.
Hold on. Can we time out? I'll let you go.
Okay.
For those of you who are saying who may be new here,
yes.
Reminder: smash that like button when we say something you enjoy.
Yes.
We are talking about a few days ago. Moi went on this fine program, and I really disparaged the Indiana Pacers and their place in history among NBA finalists.
They stink.
Indiana Pacers fans found that video, and they let me have it. And the Indiana Pacers won last night. They're up 2-1. I said on Twitter, tip your cap. They were the better team down the stretch last night. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. We're going to address it in long form here in the next couple minutes. Mark Zinno, your turn.
I would just like to say this, okay? Let's just draw a very clear line here to everybody out there. And I hope that everybody is paying attention, okay? Well, I can say anything I want about Brian Power. I can insult his looks, his appearance, his life, his existence. I can do anything I want with Brian Power because I've earned that right. We are buddies. I can make fun of him all I want. You, however, cannot. To all those people out there who have bad things to say about Brian Power, you will deal with me. And you will deal with me verily. That includes our coworkers. So listen there, hairy, chubby guy. Okay? You better settle down. Just settle down with your tweets and your comments and everything else because you don't want to piss me off. Okay? That's not what we want to start. That's not how you want to start this day. Because guess what? I don't care. That's the beauty of my job. I don't care. Brian Power knows I don't care. What happens when the bosses yell at me, Brian Power?
I don't know.
Nothing, because I don't care.
I'm getting scared again.
I don't care. So let's just be clear about this, folks. Only I can disparage Brian Power's existence. You may not. Not without my permission.
Okay. Let's
I'm here to protect you.
Thank you. I appreciate. That's why the first time I ever met you, I walked up and said, "Please remind me not to arm wrestle you later on."
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about the NBA. We do have 3 free Major League Baseball plays.
Yeah, that part too.
Yeah, they always want us to say that, but look, we obviously need to address the elephant in the room. The NBA Finals, the video that went, I guess, viral yesterday.
It didn't really go viral, just to Pacers fans. It went viral in Pacers circles because, you know.
Okay. Well, they were upset. Hey, I guess, I talk shit about their team. If somebody talks shit about my team, I'd get upset too. But this is the deal, okay? Are you familiar with the 60-40 rule in the NBA?
No,
but it's something like 36 of the last 39 NBA champions have gotten to 60 wins before they suffer their 40th loss. Or 40-20. Well, I blew that, didn't I? Now they're really going to be all. It's 40-20, not 60-40.
I'll say the whole thing again. Say the whole thing for everybody again.
Okay, 40-20 rule in the NBA. Teams, 36 of the last 39 NBA champions have gotten to 40 wins before they've suffered their 20th loss.
My guess is the Indiana Pacers don't fit that model.
They don't. There are only 3 teams that fit that model this year. Oklahoma City was one. Boston and Cleveland were the other 2, and they're obviously out. Okay. I'm bringing this up because there were a lot of people who were saying, how can you say this? And I want to and there is a video right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. I was on WagerTalk today 2 weeks ago with Andy Lang, an Indiana Pacers fan, I might add, and a very good man, too, for the record, where I laid out the historical background for why I didn't think the Indiana Pacers were going to get the job done here in this series, Mark. Okay, and I can rehash some of that here. All right, the Oklahoma City. First of all, I'm a little disappointed in them. This team that had the best regular season point differential in history, and they're not playing like it, especially down the stretch. In the fourth quarter, it's just sort of like 4 guys just throwing the ball to SGA and saying, "Please do something for us. Get fouled. Go to the line. We're scared to do anything." That's what it's been like in both the fourth quarters of Games 1 and Game 3. Okay? Yeah. But why did I say what I said about the Indiana Pacers. And for the record, if you watched the full video, and I get the way Twitter and Instagram and social media work, no one's watching the full video. They're just going to see the salacious part of it, okay? You and I both said they were not the worst team to make. I said one of, okay? But we named the usual suspects, many of which, commenters said. I said 0-1 Sixers, 0-7 Cavs, my team, okay, here in Cleveland. But let's talk about some of the numbers here that led me to say what I said about the Indiana Pacers, okay? Let's go back to my analysis for game 1 of this series when I told everyone, correctly I might add, to bet Indiana's team total first half under 54, okay? The Pacers are a team that started the year, Mark, with 66-1 odds to win the NBA championship. Not only are those the longest odds of any team to make a finals in the last 40 years, there have previously been only 6 teams with preseason odds of 30-1 or greater to get this far. None of those 6 won the finals. Pacers preseason win total, 46.5. There have been 7 teams previous to them to make a finals with that low of a preseason win total. Again, none of the 7 won the finals. Oklahoma City, minus 650 they opened to win this series. They are the 12th team, okay, to open that high as a series favorite in the NBA Finals, minus 600 or higher. 10 of the previous 11 got the job done. The only exception was the 04 Lakers against the Pistons. The Pacers are only the third instance of a team that has won, the 7th instance to win both a conference semifinal and a conference final as an underdog. The last 5 all did not win the NBA Finals. All of the numbers, guys, suggested that this was a historical outlier that would not win. In a very select group, a very small group. That is why. All right? And this is the thing. And you know this. You make fun of me. You talk about your nerd voice. Some of the commenters maybe don't like it. I'm a numbers guy. I believe in stats. Okay? I believe in stats. And the stats all told me one thing. And I'll tell you what. The stats right now aren't looking so good. But here's the key, guys. I am not going to look you in this camera or ask you to go to WT.buzz/BP and turn over your hard-earned money. And I'm not going to write, I just think Indiana for 3 quarters is going to take Oklahoma City's best shot, and then they're going to magically execute flawlessly down the stretch and win 2 of the first 3 games. Now, they've done that, okay? I can't quantify that. Okay,
no, well,
I will tip my cap. They are doing things that is a historical anomaly.
Yes.
It would be unprecedented if this team won the NBA Finals, which is why I said what I said. Okay? That's why I said.
Again, and look, the prism from just sports and sports betting are 2 different things, right? You and I are both pretty analytical guys who need numbers and data and information to be able to stand on a position and go, this is why I believe this team will win and or cover or whatever. And the numbers don't stack up well. Look, again, I'm going to sit here and tell you, I'm not betting Indiana in any game in this series. I will bet OKC minus the 6 in game 4 again because the numbers keep telling. And odds makers are telling you how much better they think OKC is, how much they're still waiting for OKC to have this show of, we're going to kick your ass because the gap between these 2 teams is so wide. Because if they felt like it was getting closer, the number would have went down to 4 or 3.5. It went up to 6 as the open for the next game.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I guess the counter to that is they just assume there's people like me out there who are willing to bet Oklahoma City to any number, and they're going to take that money.
Well, again, that's part of it. But again, I agree with the premise of what you're saying, and this is a historical outlier. But here, the same thing happened in the Eastern Conference Finals that happened here. The home team that was the better team, the more talented team, shit the bed in game 1, and it changed the entire scope of the series. Mm-hmm. If the Knicks win game 1, they don't lose that series. They don't. But they gave it away, and Oklahoma City did the same thing. If they had made one more shot in game 1, and they win that game, guess what? We are having a completely different conversation about the Pacers being down 2-1 instead up 2-1, right? Mm-hmm. And, oh, by the way, what happened in game 1, from a numbers perspective, okay, and I told you this, it had happened 4 times in 99 games. That's a 4% chance that the Oklahoma City Thunder would shoot less than 40%. When you want to talk about statistical outliers, okay, betting on something that is a 5% chance is luck. It's not skill. It's not premonition. It's not, data analysis. It's luck. And the Pacers got lucky because Oklahoma City shot worse than 40% from the field, something they had only done 4 times in 99 previous games. I can't make it any clearer than that. So
again, I'll tip my cap. They were you watched the game. I had it on. Yeah. Obviously, I watched it. They were the better team in the fourth quarter. I mean, when Oklahoma City closed the third quarter strong, they went into the final 12 minutes with a 5-point lead. I said, okay, we're doing it. And then they
even when it was 101-100 with about 7 minutes left, it was. I still felt like I was in great position to cover the 5 because I'm like, what's going to happen? They're going to get a 4 or 5 point lead. They're going to miss shots, Indiana, and then they're going to foul. They're going to foul on the rebound, and with free throws are going to get us home. I felt like we were in perfect position. And then Oklahoma City decided to not score a bucket for 3.5 minutes, not score a point. Like, don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't either. They just weren't executing. A few things here, and then we are going to get to the free MLB picks, guys, I promise. Number one, a lot of people were saying, oh, you sound like a guy who's lost a lot of money betting against the Indiana Pacers. No, that's not correct. Okay, first of all, as Mark told you yesterday, I entered last night's game, which I did lose. I had Oklahoma City's team total over. That did not get home. I had won 8 in a row in the NBA playoffs overall before last night. So I hadn't done a lot of losing. And as a matter of fact, I looked it up before the show, Mark Zinno.
Oh, that comment bothered you. You sensitive Sally. That comment bothered you.
Well, because I knew it wasn't true, but I wanted to be able to get
There's a lot of things idiots say on the internet that aren't true. Just read what they write about me. Wait, those are all true. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Anyway, they're like, oh, you probably lost a lot betting against the Pacers. One time previous to last night, I've lost this entire playoffs betting against the Pacers. It was the first round. I had Milwaukee laying 2 in the first half of a game.
Yeah. Hey, the one player prop I gave out last night actually hit.
Yes, you did. And I'll be honest with you, I was a little upset with you about that because TJ McConnell was the one who really turned that game around in the second quarter. How does that happen twice? How do you throw away the inbounds pass twice if you're Oklahoma City, the same guy? How are you just asleep at the wheel the second time?
The first time might have been forgivable. The second time was sort of...
No, it was unforgivable. I was very upset. I got very upset when that happened. There was something else I was going to say, too. Oh, you know what this reminds me of, this Indiana Pacers run?
Tell me.
And this is something that will bring a smile to your face, take you back to a more joyous time, dare I say, in your life. It reminds me of that 2007 New York Giants Super Bowl team that beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I go back to that. I remember the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. All these people around me are like, the Giants are going to win this game. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? The Giants are winning this game. This is an all-timer Patriots team. What are you saying? How can you quantify that comment? Oh, have you seen the way they're playing? I have. They're not on the level of the Patriots. The Giants won that game. This reminds me a lot of that. Because you look at the Pacers, I guess the eye test, if you will, and they're executing very well down the stretch.
Yeah.
But my numbers all say that, Oklahoma City's a demonstrably better team. Hey, maybe sometimes numbers do lie. We will see. Game 4 is tomorrow night, of course, in Indiana. A shorter turnaround between games than we had between games 1 and game 2 and then game 2 and game 3. So, okay.
Let's get to it.
All right, WagerTalk.com. This is a pick show per se, and we have taken 13 minutes and not given a single pick.
I'll say that.
All right, free play. Okay. Mark Zinno.
It's a regular show.
Your New York Yankees are trying to sweep the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
But Will Warren is on the mound. You don't like Will Warren. Now, truth be told, I don't like Kansas City's pitcher, Seth Lugo, either. I said on the Power 5 to take the over in this game. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that, but I know what you like is taking the half run with the home team, Kansas City, in the first 5 because you are fading Will Warren.
Okay, so Will Warren has made, what are we looking at, 6, 12, 13 starts this year. In just 3 of them, he's given up less than 2 runs. That was against the Tampa Bay Rays, who in the beginning of the year couldn't hit the baseball. They can now, but they didn't back then. Against the Oakland Athletics, who can't hit the baseball, and against Texas Rangers, who can't hit the baseball. Now, the problem is the Royals can't hit the baseball either. But he's also been tagged by soft-hitting teams like the Pirates, like the Guardians, like the Rockies, and the Mariners in Seattle where they can't hit at all. So I am not going to back Will Warren in any size, way, shape, or form. I don't know why Aaron Boone keeps trotting him out there. Oh, I do know why, because Aaron Boone sucks. He's a dumbass, but that's neither here nor there. And maybe they just don't have anybody else, but I would call up, anybody. Maybe the Yankees should trade for Kyle Freeland and put him in the fifth spot for Will Warren. That might help. Anyway, so we're not going to back Will Warren here. The Royals, after scoring just, 5 runs in the first 2 games, and not really hitting the ball all that well. And oh, by the way, they scored 2 of those runs last night in the bottom of the 9th inning. So I think the bats wake up against Will Warren. I think they put some runs on the board. Seth Lugo, who Brian Power doesn't like, I think is pretty competent. And his home numbers are better than his road numbers. He has his Brian Power doesn't like his FIP. He doesn't like his FIP.
Or his expected ERA.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. I know it bothers you. All those things bother you. But last year he was very good against the Yankees in 2 starts to a 2.57 ERA and gave up just 11 hits in 14 innings. So, I think Lugo gets it done to the first 5 here. Royals either have a lead or we're tied, and we'll take the half run in the first 5.
All right. Smash that like button if you agree with the free play right there. Royals first 5 on the run line, getting half a run. Let's now get into my half of the play. It's an early game, everybody, here. The Nationals and the Mets. I like the under 8.5 in this one. I don't think the Nationals are going to score a lot of runs. That's sort of the key to this. They're going up against Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga has just been ridiculous.
At home, yes.
I mean, you just look at these numbers. This guy gives up, it's either 1 or 2 runs pretty much every game at tops, and it's not like he's not pitching deep into games. He goes usually 6 innings each and every time. I look here, he's not given up more than 3 earned runs in any of his last 10 starts. He's given up 2 or fewer in 9 of them. The only one he gave up 3 was when he was at Fenway Park, and as we know, the Red Sox can put some runs up. They're one of the higher scoring home teams in all of baseball. Mets bullpen, it's not quite as dominant as it was in the first month of the season, but it's still one of the better bullpens. So the Nationals, who were shut out last night, I don't think they're going to score many runs. Now, the Mets, and by the way, the Nationals in the month of June, they've scored more than 3 runs in just 1 game, and that 1 game, they scored 4 runs. So, and that was a game we actually bet the over on earlier in the week. But, so I don't think the Nationals are even getting to 3 runs here. Okay, guys? The interesting part of this handicap, though, Mark, okay, Mike Soroka, who has largely stunk for the better part of over a year, right? He starts for the Nats. He's actually been good out of nowhere. I know he's been pitching at home recently. Well, actually, 3. Let's see, 2 of the last 4 starts. So of his last 4 starts, 2 are on the road, 2 are at home. And he's faced some kind of weaker lineups during that stretch.
Yes.
Texas, San Francisco, Baltimore, Atlanta. He faced, if you go back to May 13th. Still, though, Soroka, his numbers are good this year. I know the Nats bullpen has been bad, but the Mets have gotten to 5 runs each of the last 2 days. Hopefully they don't have to come up to bat in the bottom of the 9th like they did on Tuesday. I think we stay under 8.5. I think Soroka's decent enough, and I think Senga dominates. Washington's not going to score many runs here. So my half of the double play is Nationals Mets under 8.5. There you go.
You feeling better?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
With you.
Listen, it's been
a
and even yesterday.
Hours.
The baseball is so bad, guys. My baseball is so bad.
Oh, Jesus.
It's awful.
You were doing well for a while.
I think I had like a 2-week stretch where I was okay, but yesterday was bad. Oh. I mean, the first 5 under in Cincinnati and Cleveland. By the way, we went 0-3 yesterday. We sucked.
No, our show was not good. It was not a bad day for the morning wager.
It was a bad day. The Reds, what do you call it? Under didn't come in. Reds
did not have 2. They had the Guardians had a grand slam early, which pretty much killed the under, and then for the game, and then they had a 3-run homer later after that. That was not on my bingo card for the ballpark yesterday.
And I got to stop betting unders in Coors Field. Like I just, and again, I said if Kyle Freeland goes 5 innings and gives up 3 runs, we should be okay, right? Remember I said that? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he did. I just didn't have the Rockies scoring 4 runs off Robbie Ray.
Can't make it up sometimes. I will say this for go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I will say for all those who are perhaps poo-pooing my numbers that I gave out in the NBA earlier, same kind of research, same kind of thinking. Yesterday, I had the winner in Major League Baseball yesterday with the Boston Red Sox. And if you read my first paragraph of my analysis, I went into great detail talking about how the Red Sox have been more unlucky than bad, and specifically were due to start winning 1-run games. Guess what margin they won by last night, Mark Zinno?
1 run?
4-3. Thank you very much.
I don't know.
Yeah, back-to-back 4% winners in baseball. We had a tough weekend in baseball. Did have the NBA win streak again last night, but back-to-back 4% best bets in the MLB because we had Toronto and $5 Tuesday, and then Boston last night. I have a 4% best bet up on my page right now, wt.buzz/BP.
Okay.
You have anything else you'd like to share?
No. I just would like to point out that heading into our best bet here, we're going to go back to this.
Speaking
malarkey.
Of the Rockies,
we're going to go back to this malarkey here because here's what's happened. And I even broke this down yesterday on the show when I talked about the under in Colorado and San Fran, that they had scored 4 of their 6 runs in the top of the 9th inning. Last night, they scored 7 runs in the 8th and 9th inning to steal that win away. They have not been scoring early against the Rockies pitching. So what are we going to do? We're going to bet them to score early against Rockies. Here's why we're going to bet them to score early.
Antonio
Senzatella is starting, and he sucks. He's an abortion.
Yeah, Antonio Senzatella, he may have wrested the mantle of worst starting pitcher in baseball from the aforementioned Patrick Corbin and Mike Soroka. He's certainly been worse than both this year. Senzatella has been horrible.
I thought it was German Marquez he took it from, his own teammate, but neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. I think Senzatella is the worst starting pitcher in all of baseball, so we're going to bet against him today. Pretty much, you only have to lay about -130 here to lay the half run with the Giants in the first 5. Hayden Birdsong, we think can keep the Rockies' bats in check. And then, again, the Giants can get at least a couple runs, or should, against Senzatella.
I think it's the way to go. I mean, what else do you do in baseball except the exact opposite of every instinct you have?
I don't know. I think Senzatella stinks.
Where's George Costanza? I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing. I will now get out there and do something. No. I'll have tuna on rye.
I used to be a guy who didn't spout hot takes on the internet. I do it once. Look what happens.
You got to let it go, man. Like, honestly, VP.
I'm hurt. Look,
bro,
have you not?
You know what the problem is? You haven't practiced saying enough stupid things on the internet, so it bothers you. After a while, it doesn't bother you. Again, when you're me and you say a lot of stupid things all the time, guess what? People in the comment section will tell you, hey, Zinno says a lot of stupid things. Yeah, it does. I'm used to it by now.
I've always enjoyed your commentary on sports.
I assume it's similar to prostitution. It's just the first couple getting out of the way that are hard. After that, it becomes easy.
Okay. If that comment does not draw a like from you,
I'm just saying.
What's wrong with you? That would be a you issue, Mr. or Mrs. Viewer, because
somebody will complain.
All right. That's going to do it.
We went long today. We went
long because we had to address the elephant in the room. Okay, what am I going to pretend the video didn't happen? We're not intellectually dishonest people.
No, we're very honest people.
Sometimes you guys are too honest. We need you to focus a little bit more on the good stuff.
My baseball sucks. My player props in the NBA seem to be good, though. TJ McConnell over 6.5.
Oh, well, there you go.
Might come back with it again in Game 4. Same number.
Oh. Is he going to make me look bad again?
I mean, I might just do the same thing. Lay the 6 with Oklahoma City and bet TJ McConnell.
Okay. Hey, when you steal the ball right under the basket, it's easy to get 2. All right. That's going to do it for the show today. Remember, is there anything you would like to promote? Do I even ask that question?
I have some baseball plays that probably won't win up on the site. What do you want me to tell you? I am a flaccid penis when it comes to baseball right now. I have no confidence. None.
I don't know. You can get my best bet. Again, we're coming up back-to-back best bet.
If you want to buy them and fade them, go ahead. I would strongly encourage you to.
Mark Zinno continues to do things that have not been seen in this business, quite frankly, since its inception, whenever that was.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
You know what else I don't do in this business? Wear a vest.
Okay, best. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 more free plays. We'll be talking the NBA Finals. All right. Until next time, he's Mark Zinno. I'm Bryan Power. Let's cash some tickets.
Waiting.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Find the button, dummy. There we go.
Forgot about that part. I am producing this week. Sloppy parlay.
Don't sing. Just ride it out. You've had a bad 24 hours.
Feeling good, it's fair to say. Watch my winnings grow.